Monroe once said,
"Hollywood is a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss, and 50 cents for your soul."
Marilyn Monroe. A timeless Hollywood icon. A woman who could captivate millions with just one smile. With her legendary white dress, mesmerizing blonde hair, and soft, alluring voice. But, who was Marilyn Monroe really? Behind the dazzling lights and enchanting poses lies a story of struggle of identity, the harsh world of entertainment, and a longing for true love. Today we uncover the story that shaped the woman behind the name Marilyn Monroe. Prepare yourself, because this story is not just about a star, but also about the brutal world of fame and the high price that comes with it. Before she became known as Marilyn Monroe, she was just a forgotten little girl named Norma Jean Mortensen. Born on June 1, 1926, Norma's childhood was far from glamorous. She grew up without a father, with a mother battling mental illness, and moved from foster homes to orphanages. Her days were filled with uncertainty. No permanent home, no sense of safety. Have you ever felt like you didn't belong anywhere? Norma lived that reality every single day. At age 16 she married, not for love but to escape the orphanage. And that's where her transformation began. When Norma started working as a model, the world no longer saw her as just a regular girl, but as a product to be polished and sold. Her body, her smile, and her voice were molded to fit an ideal. Film studios saw potential, not in her talent, but in her marketable image. Back then, Hollywood was dominated by men, and women were judged by their looks. Norma knew this bitter truth. In a world that only valued appearances, survival itself was a struggle. She learned to smile and move as others expected. But deep down she knew, she was more than what people saw on a movie poster. Norma Jean was turned into Marilyn Monroe. Her hair bleached, her name changed, her old identity erased. Have you ever felt like you had to hide your true self just to be accepted? Marilyn didn't just create a new persona. She was trapped inside it. During the 1950s, Monroe became the world's ultimate symbol of sensuality. But behind the scenes, she fought to be taken seriously as an actress. She studied acting intensively, took on challenging roles, and even started her own production company, an extraordinary move for a woman of that era. Yet the world cared more about tight dresses and sweet giggles than her hard work. Imagine fighting to be valued not just for how you look, but for your talent and work. Do you think the entertainment world still values appearance over talent today? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to know if this still happens now. Behind all the glamour, Marilyn carried sadness and loneliness. She faced tremendous mental pressure and received various forms of help to maintain her image. But that help often pushed her further away from her true self. They didn't want Marilyn to heal. They wanted her to stay the Marilyn the public adored. She married 3 times, and divorced 3 times. Relationships shattered under the pressure of fame and inner turmoil. She was close to powerful figures including the president, but those weren't escapes. They were complex mazes that pulled her deeper in. Imagine being the most desired woman in the world, yet feeling completely empty. She had what everyone dreamed of: fame, fortune, and adoration. But why wasn't it enough? When the lights dimmed and the applause stopped, what remained was just Marilyn, alone in her bed asking,
"Who am I really?"
Monroe once said,
"Hollywood is a place where they'll pay you $1,000 for a kiss, and 50 cents for your soul."
If you had lived in that era, would you have fallen in love with Marilyn Monroe? Or would you have felt sorry for her? Let me know in the comments. Marilyn had connections with influential figures. including President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert Kennedy. These weren't just romantic affairs. They also involved state secrets. Some believe Marilyn knew too much. But no solid proof exists and the mystery lives on. On August 5, 1962, Marilyn Monroe was found dead from an overdose. But to this day, her death remains full of unanswered questions. Missing medical files, inconsistencies in witness statements, and oddities in official reports have sparked countless theories. Some of those close to her also vanished from public view. Do you believe Marilyn died of an overdose? Or is there something being hidden? Tell me what you think in the comments. Marilyn Monroe died at age 36. But her image lives on, stronger than ever. Feminists admire her. Fashion imitates her. The world keeps selling her smile. But behind it all, she was just a girl named Norma. A girl who wanted to be loved, to be valued, not just desired. Marilyn Monroe is a symbol of many things: beauty, sadness, hope, and ruin. She reflects a world of stardom that sparkles, but scars deeply. Her story teaches us that image is not reality. That behind every iconic photo, there is a person, with fears, dreams, and wounds that never fully heal. And today, in the age of social media, we may be creating many new Marilyn Monroes. People we idolize for their image, not for who they really are. So the question is, when was the last time you truly saw someone for who they are, not just what they look like? Now that you've heard her story, who do you think Marilyn Monroe really was? A glamorous Hollywood symbol? Or a woman longing to escape the shadow of her own image? If this story gave you a new perspective, click the like button. Share it with a friend who loves history, classic films, or the dark side of celebrity life. And most importantly, don't stop at the surface. Because everyone has a story, including you. Behind every spotlight, there's always a shadow. Comment below. Which iconic figure's untold story do you want to hear next? Thank you for watching. Remember, every shot tells a story worth remembering. Subscribe, and see you in the next One Shot History.